Hey guys, how are you all? I am doing this new thing on my channel. I don't know what to call it or if it even has a name, but every Saturday on this channel until Valentine's Day, I'm gonna be doing a love and marriage related topic video. So I'm sitting here racking my brain trying to figure out what we're gonna talk about first, and I decided that I'm gonna kind of talk about why I got married young and the perks of getting married young, really. Back when our grandparents were together and had children and everything, they all got married super young. And when you look at most of those marriages, most of them lasted. So it's really funny nowadays when we're fast forward to 2015 and we're all sitting here like kind of bashing younger marriages. And I'm not saying everyone does it, but it's not as normal as it was back then. Not saying that every young marriage lasts, but not all old marriages last either. I don't know what an old marriage is, but you know what I mean. I knew that I was gonna get married young from the time that I was like little. And I don't know why. Maybe it was like God telling me I was, or maybe it was just my hopes and dreams and desires of my heart, and God granted those later on. I don't even know if I necessarily even wanted to get married per se, but like I just knew deep down that I was going to. Before I was married to David, I was in a relationship with this guy, and it was serious to me. I wanted to marry him, and I knew that since I was gonna get married young, and I've always felt that in my spirit, I felt like he was the guy for me. Turns out he wasn't. That's the end of the story there, but I still held on to that idea of I'm gonna get married young. I met David when I was 18 years old. We have our whole love story posted here on YouTube, so I'm not gonna like tell the story or anything like that. If you wanna watch that, you can look in the description box below. I have all those links down there. When I saw him, I was just like hypnotized. I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be my future husband. At least I hoped so. And no, that sounds really stalkerish, actually, the more I think about it. I didn't say like, oh, he's gonna be my future husband, but I was like, I think he's really attractive. And I was kind of done with dating at that point. I didn't really want to date guys. I just thought he was good looking, so why not? We hung out a lot, and after like getting to know him and spending time with him, I realized then and there like, wow, I could really see myself being with this guy. And since I didn't want to just date around to date, I really prayed about my decision in pursuing a relationship with him. And it became clear after praying, after like really asking my family, my friends, and just looking at our relationship as a whole and the health of it, it became clear to me that, you know, if we were to get engaged or married or whatever, it would all work out. And I knew that it would be the right thing to do because I knew that he was the one for me. We only dated for 4 months when he proposed. And so for a lot of people, that's probably like, whoa, you guys are rushing it. But to us, there's just kind of a lot of factor of things. The main reason being David lived in Florida and I lived in Colorado, and I didn't really have a job in Colorado at the time when we were engaged. And I was offered an internship, but it wasn't a paid internship. So I was kind of deciding what I was going to do, and we were already engaged at that point. And so we were gonna have like a wedding the next year, but decided to have one that winter instead in November. I'd be lying to you if I told you that I wasn't afraid to get married at 19, because I was. I would go through stages where I would feel like super, not necessarily scared, but just worried and also kind of sad because I was gonna be moving. So I knew that was gonna be hard for me. While it wasn't easy, I still felt God's hand on it, and I still felt like it was what we were going to do and what we were supposed to do. So we got married November 7th, 2009, and so it's been 5 years now. So it's funny because when I look back at when we first got married, I feel like we just got married, but then I'm like, we've been married for 5 years, so I'm technically not even like a newlywed anymore, which is just totally weird to me. I can see like the growth that David and I have done in the last 5 years. Like there has been so much growth, so much improvement, so much just, a lot of things. Joy, anger, sadness, bitterness, love. I mean, we've been through every emotion in the book, and some of you are gonna be like, oh my gosh, this marriage does not sound very awesome at all. Well, guess what? Marriage is really, really hard. And if anybody's gonna tell you something different than that, they don't know what they're talking about, or they have a perfect marriage, and sometimes I feel like those ones have problems too that we don't know about. But anyway, one really awesome thing about getting married young is that you grow up together, and you can use that for your advantage or your disadvantage. And there may have been times that we used it for our disadvantage, but now 5 years later, looking back, I realized that that is like a total cool advantage thing to have. I mean, we were both so young, we didn't have a whole lot of life experience yet. Some would argue and say, not having life experience, how are you gonna know who you wanna marry? You haven't really been around the block, you haven't really like seen different people, but that's a good thing. I say that because there's so many people in this world that have major baggage from their past relationships, and especially the ones that failed or went like terribly. And I'm so glad that we didn't really have that much of a past to really like look back on and compare our spouse to our exes and stuff like that. I mean, we still had to work through some of the stuff that we had with just our previous boyfriends and girlfriends that we had, but we didn't have like a lot, is what I'm trying to say. So growing up together was cool. He has literally seen me go through like every stage of my life, going from like completely outgoing to more reserved, carefree and spontaneous, to a loyal mom. And I think that's super cool to watch each other grow up like that. I can tell you that David has definitely grown up and matured so much. We have like accomplished so much and we've gone through so much together. I am just grateful that I was able to get married, and getting married at a young age really, it made me grow up quicker, and it made me discover so many things a lot faster than I would have discovered them otherwise. Kind of going along with that, getting married young also let us get past those hurdles and those problems faster than most couples would. I didn't grow up thinking, oh my gosh, marriage is gonna be a fairy tale. Oh my gosh, marriage is gonna be this, marriage is gonna be that. I got married at 19, experienced what it really is in its raw and most pure form, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is what marriage is. It's tough, and we gotta work through stuff. But at the end of the day, I have my best friend next to my side, and to me, that is so rewarding to be able to like work things out with your spouse, to be able to go through those problems and those hurdles and all that junk that's just flying around all the time in marriage, like to be able to work that out and get to know each other so deep in the beginning at a young age. To me, it's really cool. That's something I've noticed with couples that have gotten married young, is that they just have a more deeper understanding of each other. It's actually funny because when we went on our honeymoon, we had waited to have sex until we were married. And when we went on our honeymoon, there was like this game show about like, how well do you know your spouse? We had been married like 3 days or something. And we actually won. We won the game show. They were questions really asking how deep and how true do you know your spouse? And I thought it was so cool that we won, because there's probably people there at the place that were like mocking us and making fun of us. These naive little kids, never done anything in their lives, starting off marriage, you know, who did they think they are? We worked out our problems even throughout our engagement, and we're still working on our problems today. And I know how to reach David when he's upset. I know how to reach David when he's mad. And it's different with every guy. I mean, honestly, it really is. Like, the way that you reach out or you respond to your husband is different than I would reach out and respond to my husband, and every person reacts to things differently. So being able to learn those things early on is cool. When we were first married, we were volunteering at a church in Florida on their worship team, which was a lot of fun and awesome. But we were definitely struggling for money. And as the years have gone by, we've gone from church to church to church to church to church to church, trying to find a job that would be a great fit for us. And then we had Eden, and then we're like, oh my gosh, we really need a job now, like a full-time job. And we finally just got it 5 years later. So being able to see like those dreams that we had together as a couple 5 years ago, seeing those come to light now, just proves like how much we've been through in the last 5 years. David has supported me in the direction of my dreams. I've tried to support him as best as I can in the direction of his dreams. And together our dreams kind of become one. I mean, I love you too, but he does it with me. And he loves worship leading, and I do that with him. And it's just our dreams and our passions and everything, they're kind of combined into one. And being able to be physically intimate with one person for the rest of your life, starting at a young age, isn't bad either. Just saying. So there are some of my perks of getting married young. Marriage is hard, period. Getting married young is hard. Getting married older is hard. And they all have their different challenges and their different hurdles that you have to go through. But like anything in life that you work hard at and that you work together on, it's so rewarding. And that might be a cliche and annoying thing to say, but I totally mean it. I'm serious. So I'm curious if you guys got married young. If you did, why? And if you didn't, why not? Or maybe you're thinking about getting married. I don't know, I just kind of want to hear your guys' perspective on this. I think with every person has a different mindset and perspective on it. But being someone who was 19 when they got married, and just looking back at my life, I'm like so incredibly grateful. I would take that 19-year-old self who had no idea what the heck she was doing, but she was naive and, you know, just thrown into a marriage, but still had to deal with that, the hard times, and learn how to like not change her husband, but love him for who he is. Like, I would take that person over my 25, almost 25-year-old self now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you guys have any requests for any of the videos that are going on in the Saturdays before Valentine's Day, let me know in the comments below. I would love to do a video that you guys would love to see. So any ideas, send them my way for sure. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in our next video. Bye! Some of the things that were in the dryer, like different pieces of lint and fabric, and then the string right here. So there you guys have it. Instead of taking about an hour and 20 minutes to an hour and a half, it only took 1 hour to dry these clothes and my parents' dryer with the wool dryer balls. So basically what the wool dryer balls do is you put them in with wet clothes, you can put them with diapers, sheets, towels, any kind of fabric.